Hello, my name is Linda Gould, and I'm running for vice chair. I'm the current secretary. I've been secretary now for 4 years. And one of the reasons why I wanted to stay involved in Democrats Abroad Japan is because as secretary, I have to call people to check on their information. And every time I talk to somebody, they specifically say, you know, oh, I don't have time, I can't do this, but thank you so much for all the effort. And please tell all the other people who are volunteering how much we really appreciate the effort. And over the 4 years, like, that has come to mean something to me. And at the end of this, you know, term as secretary, I'm a mother of 2 children. I have one who's just about to go into university and one who's going to start high school. And I don't have time right now to, you know, devote what I know is needed as the chair of Democrats Abroad, but I didn't want to get out of it because I know that people rely on us to, you know, push the issues that are important to them up the chain. They rely on us to contact them, to remind them to request their absentee ballots. And when I talk to them, it's almost as if they're hungry for someone to talk to about these issues that, you know, maybe they talk to their family members or maybe their close friends, but they feel this need that they have to talk to somebody who's in some position of power to feed it up the chain. And I feel like, you know, whether that's Chris as chair or me as vice chair or whoever becomes the the secretary is Timothy, and or whether it's going to be the treasurer, those positions are really, really, really responsible positions that, you know, a lot of people rely on us to represent them. Also, I'm a Democrat now, but I haven't always been a Democrat. Like Chris, I started out as a Republican, and over the years, as I have lived abroad, I've lived in Europe, Australia, South Africa, and now here in Japan, and every single place I go, I realize the differences between, you know, those countries and my home country, the strengths of both of the countries, but also the weaknesses. And I feel like as people who live, as Americans who live abroad, we have a voice that other Americans don't have. We have information, we have experiences that can actually move our country in a direction that I personally would like it to move in, and I think most of the people who are parts of this organization would also like it to be moved towards. And that is primarily a progressive agenda. So when the Democrats won, and they didn't really change it as much as I would have liked it to change, it was very, very tempting to just say, oh, darn, you know, I live here in Japan, I'm fine, I don't have to participate anymore. But, you know, like, our history shows that if you give up, then you give up everything. It takes people to fight, and, you know, just, okay, we're just a voter registration organization primarily, but you know what? It's the votes that make the difference. So to me, that's motivation to stay in the organization and do what I can as vice chair to help Chris, who I hope everyone will vote for as chair, and help him, you know, perform what he would like to do with the organization. That's all.
Okay. Any questions?
I had one question. I know in the past, as secretary even, you've been tempted to try to attend one of the global meetings. And I wonder, as vice chair, will you be interested in going to some of the global meetings and also the conference calls and getting more active on the international stage?
Well, I've always been interested in going. But you know, that also comes down to why I'm volunteering my time, because, you know, as a mother of 2 children, I don't have a lot of money to spend on trips overseas. I can't even take a vacation for myself sometimes. So it's very difficult to spend the money to go abroad, but I have the time to devote, and I have the skills to, that I think are helpful to the organization. Absolutely conference calls, that's not a problem, and I would love to go to some of the conferences. I would like eventually to perhaps, you know, get involved higher up, but no promises.
Right now, one of the nice things is that, just as a follow-up to that, is that they've made electronic participation in the international meetings both easier and count for something. You can actually vote as an electronic participant. So I encourage you to get to know people that way.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I know the role of vice chair is not the big one, so maybe there aren't that many questions for me.
How does it feel? Sorry. I'm speaking a little bit as a chair emeritus. But how, when you do call people, which I think it's wonderful background for being vice chair, because you really have directly the voice of the people very directly. What kinds of frustrations with the organization do you find? Are there any, or basically?
With Democrats Abroad Japan?
Yeah,
No, I've never had a single complaint about us. I've heard complaints about the party and
Right.
some of the issues that, primarily, I have to admit, gay marriage and how slowly, DADT and how slowly we're moving in that. Several people have complained that they are interested in dropping out of the party because of issues, but no one has complained about Democrats Abroad Japan, and they've been, like I said, so eager to tell us how much they appreciate the help and the volunteer hours that we put in.
Thank you.
Okay.